Hello, welcome to Alabama Cooking with Chef Lorious. Today we are making up soft and fluffy cinnamon rolls, homemade cinnamon rolls from scratch. These are so delicious. Everybody loves them in my house for breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks. We love them. I hope you love them too. I almost forgot, if you're already a subscriber here, good to see you. If you're new here, welcome. Go ahead, hit the subscribe button. Everybody hit the bell so you're notified every time there's a new video. Let's jump right into it, guys. It's cinnamon roll time. Alright guys, first thing we're going to do is proof some yeast. So we have here 2 cups of whole milk. Make sure you use whole milk in this recipe. You don't want to use skim milk, it just won't work. Okay, to that we're going to add a half a cup of vegetable oil. Vegetable oil is really nice to make these light and fluffy. We're also going to add a half a cup of sugar. And the sugar is there. See how it bubbles? Our yeast needs that to eat. And here we've got about 3 teaspoons of yeast. You can just use a packet, that's fine. And what you're going to do is let this sit here for about 3 to 5 minutes, and it's going to foam up and get all nice and bubbly, and our yeast is going to proof. And then we're going to mix this in with our dry ingredients, and we're going to be on our way. While our yeast is proofing and it's doing its thing over there, we're going to start getting our dry ingredients together. We're going to use a total of 4 cups of flour, but we're just going to start off with 1 cup of flour, and we're going to start off with our baking powder here, just a little bit. Make sure you use all-purpose flour. Do not use self-rising. The yeast will do all the rising, and we're going to just put just a little dash of salt in there, not much, okay? We're going to whisk this together, just like that. And once our yeast is all ready, we're going to start adding it in, and then we'll add the rest of the flour as well till we get our dough just like we want it. Okay, now that our yeast has finished proofing, see that? See how it's all kind of cloudy looking? It also smells very yeasty. I know no other way to describe it, guys, except it smells yeasty. We're gonna pour this in here. Now you can always use your stand mixer. I usually use my stand mixer when I'm doing these things, but can I be honest? Today I just don't feel like it. And you're going to start just stirring this up and mixing these together, okay? Then we're going to, after we get this incorporated like this, let me try my whisk too. We're going to add in the rest of our flour. See there? 1 egg. There. Now I also like to add just a pinch of vanilla in there. Just gives it a nice little flavor. It's about a half a teaspoon. Okay, the thing with dough is recognizing, as I tell you all the time, dough is fickle. I added about another 1/3 or half a cup of dough in here, flour in here, just to help bring this together, see? If you need a little more, if your dough is a little too sticky, just sprinkle a little more flour in there like that. See? Just use that. Bring it together. I love the way cinnamon roll dough feels. Oh, hello. Isn't that nice? You see how soft and nice it is? You're so sweet. Literally and figuratively. Just using a little more flour, make sure. It can be a little tacky, but you don't want it to just be outright sticky. You know what I mean? Okay, I need to stop playing with the dough. Looks good. What I'm going to do now is we're going to put it into a lightly oiled bowl and let it rise. So here's my bowl. I have sprayed it with vegetable spray. I'm just going to dump this in there. Whoop, just like that. Okay, take this glove off. I'm just going to pat her and let her know I care. I'm turning her over so she can get oil all around. Isn't she beautiful? She's soft. Hello, love. All right, we're going to cover this and we're going to let it rise for a couple of hours until it doubles in size. Okay? I like to just put either saran wrap over it or you can put a dish towel over it, but you want to have it in a place where there's not a lot of draft and it can just be nice and warm and everybody in there can just talk and those little bubbles can happen and all the releasing that needs to take place can. So we'll be back. You'll be back in a few seconds. I'll be back in a couple hours. Okay, while our dough is rising, we're going to start making our apple filling. I'm going to make these apple sweet rolls because I've got some apples I want to use up. Now this is 4 large Granny Smith apples that I've cut up here into little cubes. And I don't know if you can see my little 5-year-old running around trying to get one. Oh, those are his little hands. Okay, here. Here. Now you got to get mommy finish her video. You hold it. There. We're going to saute these. Yes, you can eat it. We're going to cook these apples down until they get soft. Okay, that looks good. See, they're soft. cooks just a little bit. We just don't want them to be hard. I'm gonna set them aside here. Now we're gonna make a filling for these. I've got a stick of butter, a cup of brown sugar, and a half a cup of cream. Now I'm gonna let this come to a boil and thicken up just a bit. Okay, and now we're going to add our apples right back into this goodness. This is why we didn't need to cook them too much the first time, because we're going to put them back in this delicious mixture where they're really going to get, oh, look at that, guys. Oh, that looks so good. I'm going to turn my heat down a little bit, and I'm going to sprinkle in here some cinnamon, because cinnamon apples, yeah, absolutely. That's probably a teaspoon or a tablespoon, but just do enough that you like it. I'll turn that heat off. Oh, it smells good. It's like an apple pie and a cinnamon roll. And after I take this off the heat, I'm going to add to it a little bit of vanilla, but I'm going to wait until it's done boiling, because remember, if you add vanilla while it's boiling rapidly, it will definitely turn your stuff bitter, and you don't want that. All this work, you don't want it to be bitter. See how soft they are? See, that's perfect, because as they cook in the oven, the apples are going to continue cooking. So that's perfect. We're going to turn the heat off. Now that these are off the heat, I'm going to stir in a little vanilla, about a tablespoon, teaspoon to a tablespoon, again, depending on how much vanilla you like. Oh, this smells so delicious. Well, guys, our dough has risen. Look at that. It more than doubled in size. So when you first take it out, what you want to initially do is punch it down, release some of that extra air. See, but be gentle with it. This is such a nice dough. And now we're going to get ready to turn it over and roll her out. All right, guys, so we're going to use half of our dough. I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle some flour here. This dough is so soft and so beautiful. Ready? Here we go. Just straight over. Oh, this is, oh, I love this dough. It's so soft. You look, see that? See how soft it is? And pretty. You don't even have to use a roller to roll it out. You can just use your hands. It's literally that easy. You want to pat it out thin, so you have some rolling space to work with. The reason I flip it around like I am is just so that I can make sure that that it's not sticking at any point. Make sure you don't get the middle too thin, because you want it to hold up to the filling that you're going to put in it. Now we're going to take our apple filling, and we're just going to take it like this. You see how I'm kind of pulling it out of the juice a little bit? Because you don't want it to get too smushy in there. I hope you can see that, see? There, see, I'm just kind of letting, it still has the juice on it, I'm just not pouring the juice directly onto it so it doesn't get too mushy when I'm rolling it. And I'm just going to spread these out. And we're going to start here with the long ends, okay? And you're going to roll it nice and tight. Okay? See? See how nicely that's rolling? It's got a little juice in it. It's okay if that little bit of juice kind of goes around and does its own thing. That's okay. That's a good sign in cinnamon rolls. Or whatever you call them. Okay? Now I'm going to turn the seam side down so that when I cut them, they don't fall apart. I'm going to put them right here. Okay? So I'm going to cut them evenly. About an inch or so. Then as we cut them down, I'm not going to make you watch all of it. I'm going to lift them up. Put them here. Now we're going to cover these again, let them rise again for an hour, and then we're going to bake them. Okay, it's been an hour since I put the cinnamon rolls or apple rolls in the pan. Here they are. They were covered, and now they've risen some more. I'm going to go ahead and put them in the oven and bake them. Okay guys, we're going to get started on our icing for our cinnamon rolls that are in the oven. I've got a stick of butter in here, 1 cup of brown sugar, and I'm going to add to that a half a cup of heavy cream. I'm going to bring all of this to a boil and let this brown sugar dissolve into this caramel mixture that we're making. Okay, see how this mixture has come to a boil? This is good because that means our brown sugar has dissolved, and we want it to dissolve so we don't have brown sugar grains in our caramel mixture. I'm gonna take this and pour it into another bowl, like this. Okay. Now to our caramel mixture, we're going to add some powdered sugar. And powdered sugar is going to thicken this up nicely so that we can spread it on our apple rolls. See, I'm just stirring this in there, just like this. It's just going to thicken up. I think I'm going to use a whisk to make sure I don't have any lumps. That looks delicious. Gonna add a little bit of vanilla here. I'm gonna tell you, it's very important that you really want this to be ready so the minute they come out of the oven, you can glaze them instantly while they're still super duper hot. And you can melt this goodness into every crack and crevice. Now, if this is too thick for you, then you can add a little more milk to thin it out. But honestly, it looks perfect to me. Well, here are our apple rolls fresh out of the oven. They are piping hot and beautiful. What you want to do is get this icing on there as soon as they come out while they're still super hot. See, and just spread it on because it's going to melt in there. Oh, doesn't this look delicious? I have my little 5-year-old here. I don't know if you can hear him, but he's kind of kitchen stalking me because he wants to try one. And this is it. See, I'm just spreading them. That's why I like that thickness, because it spreads nicely on top of the rolls. You excited, sweetie pie? See, and you can even lift it up a little bit. You can do a thinner icing if you want to and pour it inside all the crevices, but I like this one because it just really brings home that caramel. All right, guys, well, we are done, and I have my little buddy here. This is Aiden. How old are you?
5.
And we're going to taste a cinnamon roll. Ready? Yeah. Do this part here. You want me to give you this fork? Or you pick it up? There you go. No. What'd you think? Good. Good. Tell them.
It's good.
It's good. Let's see. Mmm.
Told you.
You were right. Okay. Well, we should stop before we ruin our appetite because it's actually not even dinner time yet. Thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't. There's still time. We'll see you next time. Say happy cooking with me.